Hey guys, Simon here. We are in Minecraft. We are working on the fireworks project, and I don't actually know how interesting this is gonna be, but I guess I'll record the stuff as I do it. So as you can see, I've dug out a big chamber here. It's only 2 blocks deep, but it's basically the 5x5 or the space required for the 5x5 grid of these firework launchers. You can see there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The torches are arranged in the modules, but it's not very clear. Anyway, if you just take my word for it, that's enough space for 5x5 of these things. And this is where the prototype was. It's been covered up here at ground level, and that's the hole where the circuit used to be. What do I have to say? Not much really. I guess I should say a little bit about how I plan to do this. For this one, I actually dug the whole thing down to the bottom and then built everything, which was actually quite inconvenient because then I had to use the dirt platforms and then try not to fall to my death too often. So I'm thinking when I build the rest of these modules, I'm just going to, well, first off, let's say I dig down to the level where the obsidian stops, and then I build the obsidian stuff, and maybe that. And I dig down like maybe 4 more blocks and then build that circuit, and then I dig down maybe 4 more blocks and then build the next part. So that way then I'll just be building as I dig down, and so then I don't have to deal with these platforms and then worry about falling off and all that kind of stuff. I think that's all I have to say really. I've had a suggestion to record a time lapse of me doing this, and I've actually tested it out. It's possible, but it's actually a lot of... See that, falling to my death. It's actually a lot of work. I don't want to... I know I'm just kind of being lazy here, but it actually is a lot of work to do the time lapse. I mean, not recording it. Like obviously, I'm just going to play the game and then record stuff anyway. But to put it all together, edit it, get the sound working, it would be less complicated if I had better software. But then to get better software, I have to pay for better software. So... And also, I don't know how interesting that is neither. And I have to do post-commentary, because obviously you can't commentate in a time-lapse. So anyway, I'll stop messing around here, and I think I'll keep the time-lapse thing in mind. I can see how it might be interesting to people, and how it might be cool to watch, you know, a sped-up version of me just doing these massive builds. But you know, just the amount of work required to get that stuff out, I'm not too sure whether I want to do that at this point. But you know, it's something to keep in mind, and then if I manage to figure out an easier way or a cheaper way or whatever it is, I'll probably pick it up later on. So yeah, next step is to dig down maybe, well not maybe, we can actually count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe dig down 4 more blocks, and then I'll put in all the obsidian stuff. So I guess I'll come back when I've done that. It's gonna take forever, by the way, like it's taken me several days just to dig that out. And that's over the weekend, so I get plenty of time to play in the weekend. So it's gonna take ages to finish this project. I'm sorry if that means there's gonna be fewer videos for you guys to watch, just because a lot of it is not very interesting. Alright. Pickaxe, and off I go. Alright, hey guys, Simon here, and I know that last time, at the end of the last little bit, I said I would dig down and build the obsidian things, the launches, but I actually changed my mind. I realized there were other things I needed to do first. Mainly up here, I need to build the obsidian launch tubes, I guess you call them. So I've got a bunch of obsidian here, and just put that there like that. It's going to continue up further than this, up to 2 blocks above ground level. So let me just do this down here. I'll just do one to show you. I don't know if I'll record the rest. Probably not. So you know the TNT will shoot up from here, just like in this one. If you go inside, well, if I go inside, you know, it's like this. So that's the tube. No, that's right, that's right, yeah, that's right. I think. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, so the tube is up there, and above the surface we want it to be above the ground. Actually, I need a torch here, don't I? Just so that the top of the tube is lit up enough to stop enemies spawning up there. I mean, I can always just put a torch above here, but I don't really want to. So you'll rise above the ground like this, just so you can't jump in accidentally. And yeah, so there's 25 of those. That's 2. So there's 23 more. And you can see the holes in the ground that I've dug already. And the other thing I've done is, if you've noticed, you know, this is bigger than before. So you know how originally I was planning for a 7x7 kind of fireworks, and then I realized I don't actually have enough materials, so then I scaled it back to a 5x5. I still want to save enough room for the 7x7 project if in some time in the distant future I manage to get enough materials to actually do the whole thing, the 7x7, then I will. But in the meantime, I'm going to allocate the space already, so inside this line here is the 5x5, so add one more to either side. That makes 7x7. So I'm not gonna dig out the whole thing, but you see how I've lined the sides and the ceiling. Oops, I want to zoom in. The sides and the ceiling with cobblestone. So I'm gonna line the sides at the 7x7 boundary, and I dug out the top of here so I can reach the ceiling and all that. So there's gonna be more excavation than I need for now, but it means that, you know, I've got the space ready, or a bit more ready for the rest of the project, if and when I manage to get enough materials for that. So that's the update. What else do I have to say? Not much, really. I mean, as you can see, it's not very interesting. It's just a big square space, and then there's just these obsidian things that all look the same anyway, so that's why I haven't been recording any of this, even though I've spent like days. How many days have I spent on this? Maybe a week? It just takes must be more than a week by now. It just takes a long time to excavate all this stuff, and it's just not very interesting, and so there'll be less videos coming out. What I'm thinking is, you know how I usually will record the whole project, and then it'll end up being like 2 to 3 hours of footage usually, and then I'll just release that over a period of, you know, several days. I think instead of doing that, because it's going to be so slow in coming out, I'll release the videos more frequently. So I mean, there's not going to be more content. I mean, there's up to now maybe 1 or 2 videos. I don't know how much I've spent talking and rambling, but I think I'll just release those. Otherwise, it'll be like several months maybe without any Minecraft videos. And I know you guys love Minecraft, and I love Minecraft too, but it just takes a long time to get this stuff out. So I think I'll release 1 or 2 videos after I've done this part with the obsidian here, and then I'll keep building, just so that you get slightly more regular updates of what I'm doing with this fireworks project. Even though in the end the number of videos will be pretty much the same, you know, you get to see them sooner. And also, if you have any, you know, comments or suggestions or anything like that, you can make them. And because I'm still building the thing, then maybe I can incorporate some of these ideas. Although, to be honest, I don't foresee changing this very much, because it's not really like, there's not much design going on here. It's more a technical thing. Fireworks, redstone, circuits, so it's mostly just engineering. It's not really design based. Although by the end of it, there need to be walkways. Obviously, that's just hanging in the air like that. I need walkways leading to the TNT chambers, and I need walkways leading to the switches. So maybe there's a bit of room for making something look interesting with that, but for the most part it's just engineering and circuits, so it's not going to be too interesting from a design perspective, I think. But you know, who knows? Who knows, maybe we can think of something to do. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now, I think. I think I'll stop recording, finish building these obsidian tubes, and then show you what that looks like when I'm done with that, and then upload some videos. Alright. So we're almost done with the obsidian launch tubes. There's one more here, and it's problematic because it's next to the hill here, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So it's gonna be like this. There's like black cubes in the landscape amongst the trees, and TNT is gonna shoot out of them eventually. Anyway, so that's what it looks like for now. Things to think about? I don't know, I mean, if you have any thoughts on this. But for now, see, the point of making the launch tubes, you know, a bit taller than the landscape, you know, a bit taller than the ground, is so that you don't accidentally walk in, because if you imagine these things being... Well, actually, this is not tall enough, is it? I'll just leave it like that. I mean, if you're stupid enough to fall in, then you either fall into TNT, or I don't know if you would die. I don't think that's tall enough to kill you if you have full health. But that's yeah, maybe I should make this taller. No, I'll just leave it. Anyway, so this is the last one, and I said it's problematic for the same reason as that last one was, because you know, even if I make it a bit taller, you can probably jump across from here. But again, I mean, it's only me in this game world anyway, so I'm not quite that stupid to fall in myself. So I'll leave that as it is. Let's see, so there's that, and we need it. How tall should we make this one? I guess 2 more blocks. So you can actually jump across quite easily from here. Yeah, let's just see, this torch is there, 13... Maybe one more block, yeah, one more. So 13, 11... No, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, yeah, one more, just so it's slightly more difficult to jump across. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 7. Hmm. 7 is not good. Let's just cheat a little bit and do that and that. Right. The rest of that should be okay. Yep, okay. So you can still jump across, not too difficult, but anyway, if I do that, then that's not very smart of me. I mean, at least if I'm like walking backwards for no reason at all, if I'm walking backwards, I can't fall into it, you know? Unless I'm like jumping backwards or something stupid. So you need it's just making it more difficult for me or anyone else to accidentally fall in, and I think that's good enough. So it looks like that up here, just a series. I should stop shaking the camera around. Like when you play single player, you usually do that. Like you just spin around quickly. But for recording, that's not very good, because you guys are watching it on the video, and jerking the camera around is not good video. So anyway, it looks like that. I think I'll do something about the sand. Right now I have sand marking out the borders. I don't know if I'll change that to something else. Yeah, so it looks like that. So it's fairly well, it's not that subtle, but You know, it sits in the landscape. It's just, I mean, it's quite obvious there are black squares in the landscape, but it's not, you know, imposing or anything like that. It's not this huge thing. It just sits in the landscape. And then underneath, we have this so far. So the next step, I know I said this last time, the next step is to dig down and then build the obsidian launch tubes, or the TNT chambers underneath each one. And I'm pretty sure that I underestimated the amount of obsidian I'll need, because most of these launch tubes are longer than that one, which is what I based the calculations from. Oops. So I'm probably gonna have to go down to my spawn point mine and then harvest more obsidian from the lava, but it's not a problem, it just takes time. And again, everything about this project is gonna take a long time. You see how big it is, how much stuff I have to excavate, and then getting more obsidian is just gonna take more time. So I mean, it's not a problem. Unfortunately, all it means is that there's gonna be fewer Minecraft videos from me, because you know I have to do this stuff, and I'm not recording most of it because it's mostly repetitive, not much design involved. Yeah, so I guess I'll end this segment here unless I think of something else, and I'll post these videos. Yeah, any comments are welcome. If you have any ideas about any modifications I might make to the basic design, I mean, you can imagine like that module repeated 25 times in this space, and that's pretty much it. But if you have anything else to say, I guess I would be interested to hear. If you have any ideas, I'm just checking that to make sure all of this is correct. But you don't need to see this. Okay. So our next video probably will have dug out this, and then I'll be building that stuff. That's the next video.